Aloha! You're watching F5 Web Media On Demand. I'm Peter Silva, Technical Marketing Manager with F5, and we're here at the Cloud Connect Conference at the Santa Clara Convention Center here in Santa Clara, California. And today's a very special interview because I have Lori MacVittie, who is also a Technical Marketing Manager with F5. This is actually my first interview with a peer.
That's exciting for you.
It's very exciting, so thanks for joining us.
No problem.
And so we were here at the Cloud Connect. Lori just actually moderated a session. But one of the things I wanted to ask her is all this 2.0ing going on, since she participates in the Infrastructure 2.0. What is it? It's a working group? Is that what it is?
Yes.
So what is your take with all this 2.0ing? There's Web 2.0 and Car 2.0 and Infrastructure 2.0. What does all this 2.0ing mean to you?
Well, it generally means integration, right? When you started Web 2.0, that was really about using AJAX and integrating better with the application, but it was also about RSS and Atom and using APIs and integrating better, so you're integrating applications better. And the same thing happens when you move into Infrastructure 2.0. It's about integration, it's about collaboration, it's about getting the infrastructure to talk to each other and to be able to more efficiently perform all the things it has to do.
And so with Web 2.0 and the dynamicism, we tend to
Dynamism.
Dynamism. We tend to make up words here in our group, don't we?
Dynamicity.
So as more of these websites become more fluid, more dynamic, getting feeds from other sources, really, and the real-time mechanisms of social media, how does infrastructure play into that?
Well, it's really about enabling a dynamic infrastructure. So the way that you actually make it so that a site can scale on demand and elastic and move resources around is to make sure that the infrastructure is just as flexible and agile as the applications that you're moving around. You do that through Infrastructure 2.0, which is going to be, hopefully one day, standards and mechanisms using APIs to be able to orchestrate all of the different components of the data center and hook things up in real time and make changes in real time. So it's all very dynamic and it changes with the application according to whatever the application needs at that time.
So what do the networks of the infrastructure look like today? Like what is holding them back from being that fluidness, from being 2.0-ish, if you will?
Most infrastructure is already 2.0-ish in that it has a control plane. So it's already got an API and it's got ways to control it. But what's missing is a model, is a way to actually represent the information that needs to be disseminated out to everything. So like a policy, and it's one thing to say, add me to the load balancer, but how do you represent that in a common model so that any load balancer could interpret that and add it? So that's what's missing.
And another thing I've noticed, so last year at this conference, cloud was still this nebulous, well maybe 2 years ago, it was kind of this nebulous concept. People were starting to throw stuff in there, non-critical applications, and the public cloud was the thing. As people started to get a little antsy about their data and controlling the data, then the private clouds kind of came along, right? But we're seeing lately, especially last year, that it's not going to be one or the other. It's going to be the hybrid cloud. And one of the things that came up in your session was this new type of cloud, not really new, but the intra-cloud. What is an intra-cloud?
Intercloud is
Intercloud, sorry.
That's okay. It's a new term, so it's okay. Intercloud is basically the concept of moving things between clouds. So being able to operate, see there's those words, between two clouds. So it's that whole process of being able to move an application, an entire infrastructure from one cloud to another. So you need portability and interoperability and Infrastructure 2.0 so that it gets hooked up when it gets across the cloud.
And you see as standards become in place that these things continue to move forward?
Yes. Yes. They should move forward. Once you can actually do that, then you can enable even more intelligent features, right, or capabilities. You can start having the network start making more intelligent decisions or be proactive about it instead of reactive. So it can start seeing trends and start reacting and changing and making decisions and helping.
So outside, before we were talking about this interview, we were talking about the Intercloud, and in the early days of the internet, the Metropolitan area Ethernets, the big peering points around the country where all the providers connect to each other. Do you see when it goes from the maze to the max, the metropolitan area clouds?
But it might. You know, that's a distinct possibility. Everything tends to follow cycles, right? I mean, we move through them, so I don't see why not. It would be interesting. We still need to have the ability to move from one to the other, so we
Sure.
still need the standards, but that could be interesting.
And then what do you see for Web 3.0 and Infrastructure 3.0? What does that look like to you?
That looks like self-optimization and the self-healing network actually realized, where the network can actually notice that something's going wrong and be able to proactively tell either a management point or itself that something is going wrong, and it should launch a new instance, or it should find a new path, it should change its route, it should add a filter, it should do something. I'm being attacked, I'm adding a filter. It shouldn't have to always forever ask someone to apply that policy. It should at some point be able to go, I've done this before, I learned it, I know I should apply a policy, I'm going to do that, and just do it.
And so at Cloud Connect the last couple of days, what are some of the things that you've seen that you're kind of excited about that was of interest to you?
I think just being around the standards process and hearing the feedback, because most of us weren't in IT or involved with IP or TCP when that was being developed. Now we're getting to see the beginnings of new standards that are going to help build up clouds and dynamic infrastructures. It's really interesting to watch the, how shall we say, passion involved in the standards processes. So it's very interesting to watch that.
How long do you think this will take to get standards in place?
That's some of that passion coming back. Let's just say it's going to be longer than a year, but hopefully less than the 10 years some people are expecting.
Okay. So I know you got family back home in Wisconsin. Is there anybody you'd like to say hi to?
Hi, Mom. Hi, Don. Hi, kids.
Thanks for your time, Lori. It's been great.
Thank you very much.
And so again, we're here at the Cloud Connect conference. And so for Lori, I'm Peter for F5 Web Media on Demand. Thanks for watching.